Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Haphazard Book Nook, and this is my July 2024 TBR. So I don't really follow TBRs all that closely. I usually just read whatever I have available from Libby or Everand, and usually I just go with whatever happens to pop up there. There are a few books that I do have to read this month though. The first book is going to be one that is from the new book club that Steph from My Kind of Steph and I are hosting, which is called the Love and Horror Book Club. And the book that we are going to be reading is going to be God of Malice by Irina Kent. We are super excited to kick off this book club. We are using a backlist book for it. The book club is alternating months going to be a horror book and a dark romance book. So the first month is going to be a dark romance. This one, all I know is that it has a college setting, and I don't know much other than that. I don't actually read synopsis all the way through. I just read until I have a couple of keywords, and then I go from there and just let whatever happens happens. The next book that I am going to be reading this month for sure is going to be Throttled by Lauren Asher. This is going to be one of the books in a vlog I'm going to be doing this month for reading F1 books. I'm not going to tell everybody the rest of them, but this is for sure going to be one of those books. Right, and then one that I'm actually partway through is called Radiance by Grace Draven. This is with Maggie from Maggie's Books and Stuff, Sisterhood of the Traveling Book Club, that we each pick a book, and then every month we ship off the book that we're currently reading to the next person. This was actually my June book, but I did not complete it. I am halfway through it right now. So far, I am really liking it. I will also be getting my next book, which is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. That will be another book that I have to read. It will also be for the Traveling Book Club book. This is April at Happily Ever April's pick for the Traveling Book Club. The next book that I am going to read is going to be an ARC. It is called Heads Will Roll by Josh Winning. This book is a camp setting book where there is an actress who gets canceled from something that she posts on Twitter, and the book is still called Twitter, not X. And she is basically being ganged up on by everybody on the internet, and so she pays a chunk of money to be able to go to this camp to help unplug, and it is a horror book, so I am just only assuming that people will start dying. And then this is an ARC that I got from NetGalley, so I do want to make sure that I read it before it comes out. I do have two other ARCs from NetGalley. The next book is called Killer House Party by Lily Anderson. This book is about a graduation house party that happens where people just start getting slashed. So this is a slasher horror book. I'm very excited to get to this as well. And since it is an ARC, I do want to make sure that I get through it this month. And then the last ARC that I have is called Camp Lanier by Sylvester Brazé. This book is set, it seems like maybe it's kind of a generational kind of horror book. It is set in a town that used to be only Black people. And I believe what I can gather is that maybe like their ghosts are haunting it. I'm not quite sure. I will have more on this with my wrap up because I will also be reading this ARC this month. All right, and then my second to last book that I want to make sure that I read this month is called Cold Storage by David Cope. This book is a kind of pandemic-y, quarantine-y sort of book. They're not usually my favorites, but this one sounded really interesting in that it happens at a sort of research facility, I believe. And that I am going to read this and then send it to Steph from My Kind of Steph, and she is going to read it as well, and we're both going to annotate it and put our notes in it. So I want to get this read so that I could send this to her by the end of the month. All right, and then my last book that I want to make sure that I get to this month is going to be True Biz by Sarah Novick. This book is based in a sign language school, so a school where they only speak sign language. It is characters that are all deaf, and I actually know ASL, and I love supporting the deaf community, and so I'm really interested to see how this book will work, having it take place in a sign language school. I don't believe that this is a romance, but it might have romance undertones to it. I'm not quite sure. Again, I don't really read synopsis. All I needed to know about it was that it was set in a school for the deaf. I also love in this that it has information about sign language. The chapters are also in sign numbers. There are even some pages that teach you different signs, which I think is really neat. I really think more people should learn sign language to be able to communicate with people who are deaf, especially because I am assuming, though I am not deaf, that it can be a very alienating situation. Some of the jobs that I've worked in, I have been able to speak with my deaf customers, patients, and it seems like they really enjoy being able to have somebody able to communicate with them without having to write everything down. So I think that that is really cool. So I'm excited to see how this book tackles all of that. All right, so I know that that was a really short video, but those are the 9 books that I want to make sure that I read this month. There are a couple other books that I do want to get to that I have checked out from Libby and things. I don't know if I'll get to them, but this stack is definitely the ones that I want to prioritize and make sure that I get through. So go ahead and look forward to my thoughts on those in my wrap up at the end of the month. And thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.